Let's talk about a book that has absolutely taken the world by storm, Atomic Habits by James Clear. It's become this global phenomenon for a really simple reason. It shows us in a very real way how the tiniest little things we do every day can build up to, well, life-changing results. This quote, it really gets to the whole heart of the whole book, doesn't it? It's this idea that every huge success, every incredible skill, every big transformation you can think of, it all started somewhere small. It can all be traced back to one tiny decision that somebody just repeated over and over and over again. I mean, sound familiar? We've all been there. You set these huge, inspiring goals, you're full of motivation, and then, poof, a few weeks later, you're right back where you started. It's such a frustrating cycle. Well, the author, James Clear, he found the answer to this, not from some study, but from a truly brutal, life-changing experience of his own. So let's get right into it. Clear's whole journey to figuring out the power of these tiny changes, well, it didn't start in a library. It started with a moment of real personal crisis. Yeah, it's as horrific as it sounds. A classmate was swinging a bat, it slipped out of his hands, and it hit James right between the eyes. We're talking multiple skull fractures, 2 shattered eye sockets, and a brain injury so bad that he had to be put into a medically induced coma. Just awful. And here's the crucial part. There was no miracle cure. There was no single moment of recovery. His path back, first to just being healthy, and then, believe it or not, to becoming a top college athlete, an academic All-American, was built on the smallest possible steps, just a tiny bit of progress, day after day. And that slow, steady process, that became the foundation for his entire philosophy. So that brings us to the big question. What exactly is an atomic habit? I love this definition from the book because it has this brilliant double meaning. On the one hand, you have atom. Like an atom is the tiniest fundamental building block of a larger system. But on the other hand, you have atomic, like atomic energy, a source of immense power. It's so clever, right? Tiny, but incredibly powerful. Okay, so to actually use this power, Clear gives us this incredibly simple but really profound framework. And this isn't about willpower or motivation. It's about building a system around you that makes good habits almost inevitable and bad habits almost impossible. He calls it the 4 laws of behavior change. Here they are, just 4 simple rules. Make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, and make it satisfying. The whole idea is that these are designed to work with our human nature, not fight against it. Think of it like a user's manual for your brain. Let's take a quick look at how they work. So law number 1, make it obvious. This is all about the cue, the trigger that kicks off the habit in the first place. If you want to build a good habit, you have to make that trigger impossible to miss. Like if you want to remember to take your vitamins, don't shove them in the back of a cabinet. Put the bottle right next to your coffee maker so you literally can't miss it. And one of the best ways to do this is a technique called habit stacking. This is so cool. Instead of trying to find a new time and place for a habit, you just piggyback it onto a habit you already do without thinking. The formula is simple. After I do my current habit, I will do my new habit. So after I pour my morning coffee, I'll meditate for 1 minute. Or after I take my shoes off from work, I will immediately change into workout clothes. It's so simple, but it works like a charm. All right, law number 2 is to make it attractive. This one is all about the craving. You see, our brains are basically reward-seeking machines. They run on this dopamine-driven feedback loop. So the more attractive and appealing we make a habit, the more likely our brain is going to want to do it again. A great way to do this is to bundle something you want to do with something you need to do. And here, this is where the real genius of the system comes in. To break a bad habit, you just flip the script. You invert the laws. Instead of making it obvious, you make it invisible. Hide the cookies. Instead of making it attractive, make it unattractive. Think about how sluggish you feel after eating junk food. Make it difficult. Make it unsatisfying. See? It's a complete system for change, going both ways. But, the 4 laws, that's just the how. The book's most profound idea, the thing that really sticks with you, is about the who. It's this massive shift in perspective that is, honestly, the real secret to making change that actually lasts. Let that one sink in for a second. This gets to the core of it. True, lasting behavior change is identity change. So often we focus on the outcome, like, I want to lose 20 pounds. Clear says that's the wrong way to look at it. Instead, we should focus on who we wish to become. The goal isn't just to run a marathon. The goal is to become a runner. So how do you actually do that? Well, it's a pretty simple 2-step process. First, you just decide. What kind of person do you want to be? A healthy person, a patient parent, a consistent writer. And then step 2, you start proving it to yourself with tiny wins. Every action you take is like a vote for the type of person you want to become. You just ask yourself, what would a healthy person do right now? Oh, they'd probably take the stairs, not the elevator. That's a vote. They'd order a salad. That's another vote. Each little win reinforces that new identity. Okay, now let's get practical. The book is just jam-packed with tools and strategies, but there's one in particular that is so effective because it makes habits incredibly easy to just get started. It's called the 2-minute rule, and this is an absolute game changer for procrastination. The idea is you take any new habit and you scale it down until it takes less than 2 minutes to do. So read before bed becomes read 1 page. Do 30 minutes of yoga becomes take out my yoga mat. The point isn't to just do 2 minutes of work. The point is to master the art of showing up. Because once you've started, it's so much easier to keep going. It's the gateway to a better path. And this all brings us to the final, and I think the most motivating concept in the whole book. It's kind of the mathematics behind how these tiny, seemingly insignificant actions can create such mind-blowing results over time. Think about this for a second. If you could just get 1% better at something every single day, it doesn't sound like much, right? But those gains aren't just adding up. They are compounding. They're exponential. Over the course of a year, you won't be 365% better. You'll be nearly 37 times better. That's the power of compounding. These tiny, consistent efforts don't just add up, they multiply. And that right there, that's the ultimate takeaway. That's the punchline of the whole book. The career you build by showing up every day, the knowledge you gain by reading every night, the health you build by moving every morning. See, your results in life are just a lagging measure of your habits. The real power is always in the process. So the book leaves us with this really simple but powerful call to action. This isn't about some massive life overhaul you'll start tomorrow. It's about a single, tiny, atomic change you can make right now. So the question is, what will yours be?